Welcome to Mark Arnold's Finance. I bought Meta and AT&T, and I know a lot of you are going to say, why the heck did you do that? Well, I'm going to explain why in this video. Before we get started, if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe. I'm somebody that is very transparent. I'm growing my channel, so I'm growing my knowledge. So follow along with me on this journey. Let's get started with that transparency, and let's look at my portfolio performance, as I show with every single video. Now, I am still in the green, about the same as I was last time, about 1.44%. I have profit of $572. And if you look at this here, you know, I have a decent mixture of green and red, of course, more in the green, thankfully. But my reds are pretty red. Meta's down 27.42%. 3M is down over 12%. Tattooed Chef is down almost 60%. AT&T, almost 18%. And Warner Bros. Discovery, almost 40%. Some of the big winners are AbbVie is up 65%, Bank of America is up 30%, First National Bank is up 29%, Energy is up 50%. You can look at this portfolio. I'm happy to talk about any questions you have, and this is just part of my transparency. I was in the red for quite a while this year. I ticked it back in the green, but I am fully prepared to go back into the red because with the economy the way it is, anything can happen. We have a huge earnings week this week that Google, Amazon, Microsoft, some big companies are reporting. If those companies report anything negative, it can bring the whole stock market down. So I am prepared. I have some money to deploy. But in the meantime, while I'm waiting for at least Meta's earnings, because AT&T already reported, I decided to buy more of both companies. And you're asking me, why the heck would you do this? People hate these companies. You know, so far AT&T has been a horrible performer for a very long time. Meta has been a bad performer this year due to some bad earnings in first quarter. So what are you doing? Well, I'm buying companies at great bargains, at great valuations. That's what I'm doing. So Meta, their PE ratio is at a 12.8. Their 5-year average is 27, so it's fallen more than half. To me, that is crazy because they still have strong cash flows. They have low debt to assets. It's only 25% currently. Of course, this is before they report. And their profit margins are exceptional at 86.21%. What I'm saying is they're still a cash cow machine, even though their cash has been going down because of the reduction in advertising dollars, because of them investing in the metaverse, which I am bullish on, but that's something that I can definitely see someone's argument on. But outside of that, their social media apps, their daily active users or monthly users, they have half the world's population on their apps during their weekly or monthly. I forget what the status is of that, but still, whether it's weekly or monthly, they have almost half the world's population using one of their apps: Messenger, Facebook, WhatsApp, and Instagram. And that is something that I think that is gold for this company that they can utilize to their advantage massively, and they're gonna figure it out, right? Apple put their iOS privacy settings on, which cut this company's future in their advertising dollars, but they will figure it out. They're a smart company, they're huge, they're gonna do big things still. That's what I firmly believe in. So this weekend, I went to dinner with some friends. I'm a very observant person. I did not bring up any of these words once. It was all on them. So they brought up Instagram a few times, WhatsApp many times, and Facebook once. And I was thinking, you know what? I like to see, the companies that I own in my circle around me. And to see them talk about 3 different apps in one company that I own was awesome. It kind of solidifies to me that these are still apps that are widely used. Now, travel is something that has gone up massively. There's a lot of pent-up demand. So WhatsApp is the app that everyone uses for international travel. In fact, I am traveling soon. I just downloaded WhatsApp today, and I'm going to sign up. I'm going to get used to it, see what it's all about. But everyone says it's the one app that you should have if you do any international travel. And my friends told me that, they met some people in the country that they traveled to, made friends, and they're keeping in contact through WhatsApp. And that's fantastic. And they mentioned Instagram, where they post their pictures of their trip. So I think these 2 apps especially are going to really benefit from the travel. Facebook probably will as well, But Instagram is very focused on pictures, so I think it'll benefit more. And WhatsApp, I think a lot of people are going to be downloading this with all the traveling that's been going on. So I do see some positive here, and I do think that Meta could see, still some bad earnings this quarter. I'm not saying they're going to turn around right now, but long term they will. And with the bargain and valuation that their company is at, for as big as a company they are, for as much as their stock price has fallen, and their PE ratio and a lot of other metrics, I just think that this is a great time to be buying if you're bullish on Meta. Of course, we're all different investors, so this is just my opinion. I'd like to hear your opinion on Meta though. Would you buy it? I know the metaverse is the side of it that you can argue with me, but I do think that it has a big future. I've already seen it in play with the Oculus myself, which was amazing. It was a great experience, and they're utilizing the metaverse for a lot of other things. I see advertisements everywhere, how they're using it to train in different types of situations with colleges, just so many things. I could go on and on and on. I am bullish on the metaverse. But outside of that, there's social media apps. Having almost half the world's population using them is just something that this company, that's a huge asset to them. And I think they're going to do great things with those apps still, and it's going to still bring in a lot of advertising dollars. Long term, they're going to figure out a way how to increase those advertising dollars. So I bought Meta. Next up, I bought AT&T. I never thought I would say I'd buy more AT&T. In fact, I want to get out of this holding. But I will say that they are moving in the right direction finally. They just had earnings. They beat their earnings per share by 5.41%, and they beat their revenue by 0.66%, which is great. Now their free cash flow went down, which no one likes to see that, right? I don't like to see that with AT&T, but with the economy the way it is, they're struggling with customers paying their bills, and I think they're using that money to pay down debt because they are paying down debt. And that is a great sign. I think it went down about $500 million this earnings report, and that's what we want to see. They cut their dividend for that reason, and they're acting on it. So that's something that I am happy with. And so what I see is a company at a great bargain, a great valuation. They have a great dividend now that it's gone down. It's above 6% at 6.03, and they have a 41% payout ratio, which is very healthy and sustainable. So I figured, with my position being in the red, I might as well average down and collect a great dividend in the meantime. And I will sell this stock most likely someday once I'm in the green. And so that's just why I bought this company. I think it is at a great valuation. I think the direction they're heading in reducing their debt, obviously they're doing good with their earnings per share and revenue. I think it's just a matter of time before people start to get more comfortable with this company and start buying in. And I believe I will be in the green, hopefully sometime in the next 5 years. I could take some profit and then deploy it into a quality company of my choosing. So that's why I bought Meta and AT&T. I just think they're great value and bargain plays while everyone's being fearful with these stocks and selling out and talking them down. That's sometimes the best times to buy in my opinion, and I think that's what I'm doing right now. So I'm very hopeful that Meta will make me a lot of money someday, because I do think that this company is strong, and it's just getting the hate right now. And of course with Apple, with their iOS privacy settings, that really hurt them. Advertising dollars are down across the board. Now Snapchat, their stock went down because of their earnings, and Meta went down in sympathy with them. And I don't think it was called for. I don't think Meta deserved that. So that's why I bought, mainly is because they're dropping their stock. So Snap did increase its daily active users, but their revenue per user went down. And so they're seeing that as the advertising dollars getting cut, and they're seeing that as it's going to flow over to Facebook. But I think Facebook is such a much stronger, larger, profitable company. And I think advertising dollars, if they're going to go anywhere during these hard times, they're going to flow more towards a company like Meta. So Meta, AT&T, that's why I bought them. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. I know we have a huge earnings week, so I just didn't want to put out any kind of video where I'm comparing companies and stuff until after this week is done, because a lot of these companies that I have, like 3M, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, are all companies I hold in my portfolio, so I'm so anxious to see what they do. I think Microsoft will probably beat earnings, but by how much, I don't know if it'll be as strong as it usually is. Amazon is a wild card. I don't know what to expect, to be honest. Prime Day, they did great, but that won't be until next quarters. 3M, this company has suffered a lot, and with the market the way it is, they still sell things that people need, especially with the housing market that a lot of people flooded into the last couple of years. So I think we'll actually see some decent earnings from 3M. And then Meta, I'm anxious. I hope their earnings are much better than last time. And I think if Meta has positive earnings, I think this stock will shoot up pretty heavily because they're at such a low valuation right now. People will just deploy their cash. That's what I can see happening. If it's negative, I think it's gone down so much. It could go down more, but probably not as heavily as it did last time it reported earnings. But yeah, give me your opinions on Meta, AT&T, and me buying them. Would you buy them? Do you see why I bought them because they're great bargains? Do you see that they're not great bargains yourself and you're going to open my eyes to something maybe I should look more closely at? But these are the reasons why I bought them, and just let me know your thoughts because I love to hear your guys' comments, and sometimes you guys teach me things and I'm very appreciative of that. So with that said, you guys have a great day. We'll talk to you after this big earnings week and go over many of these companies and how they did and my opinions and thoughts on their futures. So with that said, have a great day. We'll see you next time on Mark Arnold's Finance.